Yo, ski woski, peaski weeski, what y'all wanna do ski? It's your boy, Max, in full fucking effect. Sorry about the hold music here. This is the American healthcare system at work. I'll turn it down. We've been waiting on hold. Hope everybody's doing good. We got what, Wednesday today? I don't know. Is it Wednesday? All these fucking days are all the same to me anymore. Yep, Wednesday. And fuck you to that little piece of shit. Give that motherfucker's name. Talking shit. I always preach we ought to be nice because we don't know what anybody's situation is, and that's still true.
Are you still there?
Oh, you bet I'm here. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I was just letting you know I'm still on hold on their end. I was verifying your account before she needed to check for your prior authorization. So I'll be right back, okay?
All right. You feeling good about it? I'm feeling good about it. We feeling good?
I'm not too sure, but I will let you know in a little bit, okay?
I'm feeling good about it because if we're not getting this health care taken care of, then I'm going to take my healthcare money someplace else because I don't need this shit from anybody. This is nonsense. You guys don't know better than the doctors. You can't cripple the doctors and handicap them and not let them do their job. They're the prescribers. Your prior authorization that has already been gone through prior to me agreeing to the policy, when this has already been discussed, should be a moot point. I don't even know why we're having this conversation. I ought to be able to get my medicine at the pre-arranged price based on the tier level it is. This has all been done already, and here we are. We're going backwards, working our way back and getting nowhere. But I'll let you do your thing. But say hi to everybody in social mediaville. Say hi.
Alrighty, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, so this is... Doctor visit went good. Didn't get a physical, but I did find out some good news about physical. Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. That bitch motherfucker. And like I said, I practice what I preach. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hateful motherfucker. I'm not. But also at the same time, and I mentioned this, I'm not going to sit back and be that guy that's going to sit there and fight every fucking toad that sits there and talks shit to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also not going to be that motherfucker that you're going to talk shit to. I appreciate the comments and the interaction. Good, bad, doesn't bother me. But I will react to it just like anybody else would. And I'm not angry. It just goes back to what I said. You don't know what somebody else is going through or has gone through. So you should take that into consideration before you go doing some shit that might end up getting you, I don't have a whole lot of viewers. This channel hasn't done anything yet, and that's okay as far as the YouTube goes, and that's fine. That's all right. I'm not trying to get famous or infamous or anything to that extent. I'm here to help people if I can. Anybody tuning in, if you go to the comments under, I know I put them under I can see them for sure on YouTube, and I think it's on Twitch as well, but if you go to YouTube, you'll find the stream there, and you can go hit the link, come on aboard, get on here. We can talk about some stuff. I got plenty to always talk about. But, yeah. You never know what somebody else has been through. But I had this motherfucker make a comment about the live I did on Monday, and he said, I recommend you turn that camera off and go hit the treadmill. At Dean7696. Now, Dean, he's fucking got no videos. He's got a channel with nothing on it and a picture of a duck. Now, Dean, I want you to eat a big fat bowl of hot cock and realize that if you would have read my channel description, that the very first word is disabled. Now, I didn't specify my disability, but the word disabled kind of, I might have put on a few pounds since, becoming disabled nearly 2 years ago. This good-looking guy behind me, this is my son. His
going on, guys?
That's
Can I
right.
go to OCC?
He's going to the community center to play basketball because he's tall as shit and he's good at basketball. And that's not the first time he's heard the word shit. So don't worry, it's not contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Trust me. Fucking kid's smarter than all you motherfuckers. I don't mean that in a bad way. Anyway, so yeah, fuck that guy. I'll tell you my story here in a minute once I get this whole medical clearance thing going on. Then I'll give you some medical news. Good medical news for males that are 40 and over and those that are getting there. This is probably the best news I heard all day, and I'll tell you why in a second. Then, you know what? I'll go ahead and tell you what the fuck happened to me. I don't care. I got some cases going on, so I can't get too specific on certain details, but I'll enlighten you guys, and then we'll go through some reaction shit, check out some new shit. We'll just do whatever. We do what we do. And like I said, anybody wanting to come aboard, hop on in. This train's got plenty of room. Motherfucker, hey, you know what? This is like the fucking G6 of fucking podcast is what it is. Or streams, or whatever the right terminology is. Motherfucker talking about my face. Right? Pussy. Yeah. Let me see how you look after you've had an accident at work that wasn't your fault, obviously, and you work on semis, and then you go to get a corrective surgery for your accident, and then your corrective surgery makes your condition even worse. As a matter of fact, it puts you in a shitty position to where this only happens to 2% of the population, and of course that shit was going to happen to me if it was going to happen to anybody. CRPS. I didn't even know what the fuck that shit was. All I knew was after I had my surgery, within 2 weeks my leg and shit got so fucking big and swollen that I had to go back to the doctor. They had to restitch my shit. And then as I'm telling the doctor something ain't right, doctor,
Mr. Max,
hey.
This is Joanna. I have Ness with the authorizations department. She's gonna go ahead and repeat what she just told me about your authorization. Ness, if you could let him know. Oh yes. Hi. By the way, can I call you on your first name, Max?
Yeah, please call me by my first name, yes.
Thank you, Max. Yes, Max, my name is Ness. I am a pharmacy solution specialist. So yes, regarding on your Ozempic for the prior authorization, actually, we only received the prior authorization dated today.
Okay, that's fine, but I already, before I got the insurance plan, before I signed up for it, this was already known that I was on this medication. So a prior authorization for medication that I've already been on and prescribed by a doctor, a medical professional in which I went to see today, that prescribed it again. What you're doing is holding my health hostage by sitting there and doing what is there that you're politicking that you can't figure out whether or not I need my medication that a doctor who actually saw me and prescribed to me is going to be able. Why are you forcing me to be an asshole?
Sorry for that. I understand, Max. But
I don't think you do understand because, like I said, going into this plan that I chose and picked, I was very specific with the individual from the marketplace and the broker about what my medications were, how much they would be, and no problem. There was no prior authorization, no problem. You guys take my money every month, no problem. But then I go see a medical professional. I saw my medical professional my first time today, my new healthcare provider. It's not like I haven't had diabetes, but I haven't had good enough insurance, which is why I switched to you guys. And now you guys are going back and telling me that prior authorization. Well, if you're the prior authorization department and I'm talking to you right now, what is it that you need other than the doctor who went to school to be a doctor to tell you that this man needs this medication? What is the problem? Especially since this has already been discussed prior to the purchase of the policy. Where are we having Where are we having the disconnect?
Regarding with this, prior authorization actually during the medication is up. And actually, there's so since this one is they receive a prior authorization needed, and it was received.
So, okay, what you're doing right now is talking broken English, and that's not helping the situation any. So, let me ask you to do me a favor. Now that you are the prior authorization department and you're looking at the prior authorization that was just sent in today, what is it that you have to figure out other than, hey, this guy saw a doctor? The doctor prescribed him something that he's already been on. Why do you make this more difficult than what it should be? Tell me.
Okay, so regarding on this for the prior authorization, actually, Max, yes, we received a prior authorization, but the provider didn't answer yet the clinical questions.
The provider didn't answer what yet? What didn't the provider answer? Well, what did he not answer? What
This one is all about the clinical questions.
the what?
Clinical questions on the prior authorization.
Are you saying critical?
Clinical.
Clinical. I went to see a doctor in a doctor's office. Wouldn't you think that he knows what he's doing when he prescribes a medication? So once again, we already knew that I was on this medication going into the plan. Now he prescribed it as my new healthcare provider. My previous healthcare providers, which are no longer my healthcare providers, did the same thing. So if all these medical professionals are prescribing me the same medication, what am I waiting on you for? What are you waiting on other than pushing that button and putting it through so I can get the medication I need prescribed by a doctor, which I just saw for the first time today? Hi.
Mr. Ness is saying that they are waiting for clinical questions that the provider has to answer after he has submitted the prior authorization, which was submitted today. We understand that you have let know the broker or the agent when you signed up for the insurance that you are on this prescription. We see that you've been on this prescription for a long time. Yes, we know that, and that is true. But we cannot do anything until the policy is effective. Meaning, when you go see a doctor, that's when the prior authorization has to come in. We cannot do a prior authorization for somebody that has not been seen and that has not, has not been seeing the doctor, and they have to send it the same day. We cannot ask a provider to send a CT scan for a prior authorization for a CT scan when they haven't seen the patient. They have to send it the day of, and we just received it today. And it's still in progress, and they're waiting on the doctor to answer those clinical questions.
So now you're going to make me call the doctor up and be like, hey, you prescribing this medication, did you know that you had to answer these clinical questions before they would actually release it to me? So now you're going to put it on the doctor as if diagnosing me wasn't enough. You're gonna do what? You're gonna strong arm him, make sure that he did what? I don't understand. Why are you trying to handicap the doctors from doing their job? Why don't you guys just focus on doing your job, and that's paying your portion of what it costs for the medication, for what it costs to go and see a doctor or a specialist or get a referral or anything else? You guys are just giving me excuses as to why you don't want to cover something. That's all you're doing. You already know I've been on the medication. What do you think he's going to tell you? Yeah, he's got type 2 diabetes.
We're not giving you excuses.
That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. Now you're waiting on the doctor, you say. Do what?
It's okay. You can go ahead and disconnect. Thank you so much.
Disconnect?
Thank you. Hello, Joanna. Are you still there?
What?
Hello, Max.
Yeah, when are you going to go ahead and push the authorization through? If all you're needing to do is push the button, and let me get my medicine.
There is a process for prior authorization, sir.
But we already went through this before I got the policy. And if you're documented all that and you're looking at all that, then why are we having this conversation? I should have got my medicine when I went to get it earlier. There shouldn't have been any holdup, any hiccup. There should have been no reason to not have my medicine right then and there. But no, they came talking about some prior authorization when there should be no prior authorization needed. You didn't have any prior authorizations on the other gaggle of medications I got. Why do you have to have a prior authorization on this?
Because this specific prescription, Ozempic, is actually being misused by a lot of members.
Okay, well, I'm not that guy. I'm not misusing it.
There's a process that we have to go through. It's all policy, sir.
I don't care about your policy. All I know is that my medication has been prescribed by a doctor for a condition that I have and have had for many years, and the Ozempic is the medication that I've been on since it's been out, and it's kept my A1C at 5%, no more than 5.2, which is why I get it. Yes, it does help with weight loss, absolutely. And I'm sorry that Oprah Winfrey lied to all those people for all those years about all those things, but that's not me. I'm not misusing anything. I'm just prescribed a medication like metformin. You guys don't, yeah, what do you guys say about my metformin? Nothing, right? That's a type 2 diabetes medication now, isn't it? Yes, the answer is yes. And in conjunction with another semaglutide drug, GLP-1, it is more effective in lowering A1C. And based on previous lab results and current lab results, I can guarantee you, without a doubt, nothing has changed in my need for my medication. Any more than my CPRS is not going to get any better in my leg, and I'm not going to be able to run or walk normally or walk quick or do a lot of other things. But that's okay. That's not your problem. That's not why I'm calling. I just want my medication, and I'm not going to wait a week. But if I need to reach out to the doctor that I just saw for the first time, I don't want him to think I'm some kind of raging lunatic. You guys, I pay. You're supposed to be doing this as your job. This is why I pay you monthly. I pay you early. I paid you like 2 weeks ago for next month. I'm the best customer you got. Now you're going to treat me like the best client you have and get this pushed through. So you're either going to do it and get it done, and I'm not going to wait a week. And I expect to get a call back tomorrow saying, Mr. Max, we got it taken care of for you. Prior authorizations pushed through, $40 price that we had set, all good. Go get your stuff. Any questions?
There's no way to expedite this prior authorization only because we are waiting on the provider to answer.
Okay, I'm telling you, I'm going to reach out to the provider, whether it be tonight or tomorrow, and make sure that he reaches out to you tomorrow. So then I'm going to eliminate another one of your excuses, and you're going to go ahead and give me my medication. Do you understand?
You can go ahead and do that. The authorization is in progress. It was received today. We're waiting on the provider. Once you give him that call, he should have it in between 24 to 72 hours. And the prescription will be given to you.
And this is just one of the other problems in healthcare. It's not just United or Ambetter or Aetna or any of these other healthcare providers. You guys are all just money hungry, greedy, no good sons of guns. I don't know what else to tell you. You guys are doing everything you can to make excuses to make sure people can't get their medication, so people can't be able to go see a doctor and get a prescription. No, we got to go jump through hoops, go through all the bureaucracy and red tape. For what? You guys have one job. That's all you need to do is make sure that you make good on your one promise, your one obligation, and that is to do what? Make sure that I get the health care I need, my $40 copays or whatever they may be, my prescription costs are what they're supposed to be. And when this has already been all prearranged before in the past and decided on and agreed upon, then you guys need to make good on it. But you guys don't do that. And it's not just you, it's all you healthcare providers. I'm not telling you anything crazy like I'm going to do this or that, but I'm saying that it's a bad look, especially after what's been happening as of late in the healthcare industry. Listen, you guys already got a bad enough name. Don't make it any worse and stop don't handicap doctors. The doctors know better than you guys do. You guys just want to make money. All right. You're not worried about helping people. So let's not get it twisted. Let the doctors cook and do their thing. Let me as a patient be able to do my thing, which is get my medication. And you know what? Everybody's going to be better off and happy that way. Otherwise, I don't have to waste 30 minutes of my life, 30 minutes of my time sitting here talking to you about prior authorizations when it's already been discussed. And no offense, but I don't know. It sounded to me like that was coming from a foreign call center somewhere across seas. I could be wrong. Maybe I am. I doubt it. But maybe we ought to do something a little bit local. Maybe we can get things done a little bit quicker if we all spoke and communicated the same. I think fast, I talk fast, and I act fast. So I expect the same from other people. I don't think I'm asking too much. Am I?
Yes.
I mean, you ask for money the first of the month, right? And if I don't pay that money the first of the month, you guys, you cut me off, right? That's what happens. Am I wrong?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's have that relationship reciprocated upon one another and make sure that you remember that, because that money that comes every month can go just as quick. Feel me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to give the doctor a call and do your job so I can get my medication. All right?
All right. You could just give us a call back, and then we'll check in on.
If I give you a call back and you can write this notated down, it's going to be to make sure that I did your job for you, and if anything, I should probably get a discount for it, because if I'm able to get a prior authorization pushed through before you guys can do it, then I don't know what I need you for in the first place.
Alrighty, is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Well, you didn't really assist me with anything, but I appreciate your time as always. So I understand it's not you, but you know what? You just happen to be the person that's on the other end of the phone. And regardless of how I feel, I do appreciate your time. And I hope this gets resolved sooner than later. Like I said, that's just the way. That's the way. Sounds like some Jedi talk. But
again, I do apologize for the policies and, all the...
No, it's not you. No, like I said, don't take it personal, because it's not you that's making the policy.
I just want you to understand that, that's my job, just letting you know what I'm looking at here, and that's the policy, that's the process or whatever. So I do appreciate you for understanding. I know you're a little bit frustrated, but I definitely will notate everything down, okay?
All right. Well, I appreciate it, young lady, and we'll talk again soon. I'll reach out to the doctors, and maybe they can give me a sample if they got one, and in the meantime, do their authorization or whatever they need to do on their part. I hold everybody accountable. That's the way it should be. It's not just you. It's everybody.
All right, Mr. Max. Well, I do wish you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for calling Amber Sunflower Health Man.
All right. You have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for offering your feedback today.
All right. Hey. What's going on up here? Sorry about that, everybody. But, if you couldn't figure out, I went to the doctor today, new primary care provider, prescribed me what I needed, and healthcare. Oh, I'm telling you, man, it's a racket. It's a racket. I should have got in it myself. I've been fucking rich as shit by now. But, yeah, and about that other bitch ass motherfucker, this is part of the reason why I'm in one of the positions that I'm in. And I'll go ahead and tell the story. So I'm working as a heavy line mechanic. I've been a technician my entire life, 35 plus years professional. Matter of fact, and I'm not bragging, I'm not patting myself on the back or toot my own horn, but I was in the top 10 percentile in not only pay, but techs in North America. No lie. No lie. I didn't work on helicopters and I didn't work on airplanes, but if you talk about regular combustion engines, diesel engines, small engines, heavy equipment, zero turn mowers, generators, semis, fire trucks, logging trucks, trash trucks, ambulances. I've worked on a plethora of things for the last 35 plus years. I've also owned multiple businesses and I've been blessed. So what happened? I come out of retirement out in 2022. And prior to that, I was just messing around here at the house, doing some work here and there, and taking care of kids, being a family guy. I was also, like I said, I was helping out at home and being more of I wouldn't say a stay-at-home dad because I would keep myself busy all the time with work. I would always work. It's all I've been doing since I came to the United States, which, like I said, best country in the world, but some of the things that we need to improve on, we definitely need to work on a lot harder. But anyway, I came out of retirement and wanted to go back to work. I was bored. I didn't want to keep working out of the house because many reasons. A wife needs to be able to park in the garage, especially when she has a new vehicle. And other than that, even though I would stay busy, I wouldn't say that I didn't get side-eyed or nothing like that from my wife. Don't get me wrong, but a more traditional form of work is what she wanted me to do. And I'm like, all right, you want me to go make some shitty money working for somebody else? I'll go do it. So I went and I decided to go work on semis. And the company that I worked for is Peterbilt, Kenworth. And without saying too much more than that, let me just say this. When you work on vehicles that are large, like a semi or a trash truck or a logging truck or a tow truck for semis, you name any big shit that you've seen on the road is what we work on. But what you may not know, as well as they pay to do these jobs, not all of these big companies and corporations have the necessary equipment to do the work. And that's exactly what I'm saying about Peterbilt. And from having no equipment other than some shitty floor jacks, and I'm serious, you think I'm lying, I wish I was. You're doing everything on the ground. A semi-wheel and tire, all right, rear duals, weigh 200 pounds on wheel and tire by itself. So you're on the ground, on your knees, removing this big fucking giant tire that weighs more than most humans do on average. And this is what you do all day. Stabbing a transmission, you're doing it with your fucking knees and your fucking legs. You're doing everything on the ground. There's no lifts. There's barely anything. There's nothing safe about it. This place is a fucking death trap. I shit you not. But anyway, I got hurt when I was dressing the radiator, putting it back inside its cage and getting ready to mount it back inside its respective truck. And upon doing so, bending down, I don't know, I didn't do anything. I was just working, but my knee went and I was down on the ground probably 15 minutes, driving in pain, let the bosses, everybody know, reported it, etc., did what I was supposed to do. Nobody over there did anything about it. Very next day, and I was working 410s or 412s, I don't remember what I was working, but I never missed a day. I was never late, nothing like that. And reported it, did all my shit, but they never wrote it down and reported it. So I end up seeing my own doctor the very next day because my leg had swelled up and my knee swelled up, couldn't walk, couldn't work. You know, when you're taking 18,000 plus steps a day in a giant fucking shop, multiple giant shops working on and driving semis and everything else around, which is also not a simple thing to do. Anybody that's out there on the road with these giant vehicles needs to understand also that they're not like driving a car or a minivan. They're completely different. They're not easy. Air brakes are not like regular hydraulic brakes or electric brakes in some cases on some vehicles. Air brakes are a whole nother animal within itself. And there's a lot that goes into it that people don't understand and I don't want to get into, but respect large vehicles, move over for them, and understand that not only is the vehicle itself not the easiest thing to drive, but the load that is behind you that you're hauling in up to a 53-foot trailer or a single, a double, or even a triple is not a simple thing to do. That takes a lot of skill, okay? But as much skill as it takes to do this, it is considered unskilled labor. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. Not everybody can do it, but you know what? It's unskilled labor, so let's just stick with that. Anyway, working there, get hurt. They don't report it, even though I reported it. See my doctor. They put me on different medication, take x-rays, etc. Do MRIs. I get referred to a specialist, and specialist sees that I have what he said was bursitis, and then I had a chunk of something in the very front of my knee. I could pull up some pictures and show you guys if you want. Just let me know in the comments. I can show you what my leg looks like, and then maybe you can understand a little bit better of what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you want, let me know. I'll pull up a quick picture of it here. I'll find one while I talk and finish this story. So anyway, doctor goes, and since I was not responding very well to the medications, he decided to go ahead and proceed with the bursectomy, which is the removal of your bursa sacs in your knee. And this was after I'd already gone through multiple rounds of different antibiotics and some serious, high-powered shit as far as antibiotics are concerned. And it didn't do any good. The pain, the swelling, nothing ever went down. And within 2 weeks, I went to go see the doctor again for the follow-up. And within that 2-week time frame, I was in more pain than I was before the surgery. My leg didn't feel right. My leg at this point, not just my knee, my whole leg was, you're almost 50 years old in my case. You know how you feel, and you know your body pretty well, and you know how to listen to your body when there's something wrong, and I went and told the doctor, and he's looking at me, he's like, no, everything seems okay, even though all your stitches are ripped open. Did you do something? No, man, I didn't do anything. I'm doing what you told me to do. He didn't give me any physical therapy. He didn't do anything, and he didn't listen to me when I told him there was a problem. And 2 weeks after that, I ended up in the hospital, had to go to the ER because I got violently ill out of nowhere for no reason, seeing as how I hadn't been anywhere because I was unable to walk. And I'll show you why here in a second. I'm trying to find a picture that I could actually show you, and then you'll understand why I have a little bit of an issue moving and been sedentary, and this condition that I thought people were making up, but it's a real thing. Or complex regional pain syndrome affects like 2% of the population. It's crazy. Yeah. And my leg and my knee continued to swell and swell and swell. And if the doctor would have listened, I feel that it would have possibly been different. I feel that not getting the care that I should have gotten with physical therapy, with being listened to, with being taken seriously, resulted in what could have been possibly prevented. But there's no going back to find out whether or not that's going to be the case, because can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, as they say. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But in retrospect, when it comes down to it, during the last 2 years, this happened originally in January of 2023. So for the last 2 years, all right, January 14th to be exact, last 2 years since I had surgery in March, the last day of March 2023, March 30th, I have went from 18,000 steps and weighing 200 and that was about 250, 6'2", almost 6'3", 250, 55 pounds. Now I'm up to 315, and it's not in the belly or anything. I think a lot of it has to do with this picture I'm about to show you, and the fact that as human beings doing things, different activities, if you do something and it's painful, you generally don't want to do that activity anymore. Makes sense? So if something is painful and doing it causes you pain, you aren't going to be doing that activity, or the likelihood of you doing it is going to be far less, or you're going to do far less of that activity, which in my case resulted in me being sedentary to a point, because I can't just sit around and do nothing. So I still got to stand up and try to walk around and hobble, but I do so with a cane and a walker, as opposed to being able to run and jump and do things like I used to be able to do prior to the injury / surgery. Now, the thing that gets me the most, and this is what really pisses me off about the whole situation, and why I say it could be avoided, could have been potentially avoided, and had the doctor actually listen to me instead of just trying to cover his own ass and taking me seriously, then I think that it would have been a different outcome. But like I said, our healthcare system is absolute trash. It's fucking trash. And there are trash doctors out there. And, you know, I hope that nobody ever has to go through what I went through, because Peterbilt, those quality individuals that are responsible for me getting hurt in the first place, are also the same no good sons of bitches that fired me on the last day of a month while I'm out on the Family Medical Leave Act because I'm not healing properly. And yeah, they fired me on the last day of the month, bro. Here, I'm gonna put this photo up and then you guys can see. Now, I'm gonna take myself off for just as you're looking at a doctor, you're at a doctor's office and you're showing him your leg and you're telling him motherfucker hurts, man, and then something ain't right. And he looks at it and he looks at your other leg and he looks at you and he says, looks okay. I think it's all right. Really? Come on, man. If I got physical, they finally prescribed physical therapy like 4 months later, 5 months later, another MRI, and found, new swelling and edema all throughout without any new injury. Well, that means somebody done fucked up. It's not just my knee now, it's my whole fucking leg. So that's why I don't get around so well. And that's why, Mr. Whatever the fuck your name was, I don't fucking walk so good and I'm not on a treadmill. My face might be a little fucking chubby fucking asshole because of that. And that's why we were on with the insurance company, because we negotiated this already prior to getting a new plan. Used to have United Healthcare. No. Now I have Ambetter. These motherfuckers are playing the same games as all the rest of them. Son of a bitch. Man. So yeah, I'm normal looking. Perfectly normal looking. Can't wear normal clothing necessarily anymore. Got a lot of track suits and shit. Got a lot of fucking comfortable clothes, if you want to call them. My belly, my waist, I still got a 36-inch waist. I mean, fucking normal guy. I got fucking normal shit. Just one little issue. Just this whole leg thing. And it's a painful motherfucker. It's a fucking painful, unpleasant son of a bitch. I don't enjoy it, but there's nothing that I can do about it, nothing that can be done about it, with the exception of one thing, which is coming up in the near future, and that is a spinal stimulator, a DRG implant, I believe is what they called it. And basically, what that is a two-prong stimulator that gets put in certain nerves in your spine, and then they implant the device. You know, I'm guessing somewhere back in this area, wherever they implant the device, and then they said it's a simple procedure, but then that's the same thing they said about the last procedure I had. So I'm like, man, look, I don't know about that shit. I don't know. Here's healthcare. Yeah, look at that. These are countries, even Russia and China and India have universal health care. Canada, Mexico. And we get to the States here, no universal health care. You know why? Because the United States is a business, and so is healthcare, and so is medicine. And that's why things are the way they are with the healthcare, with the physicians. But at the same time, I think that it's absolutely obnoxious and wrong on every level to deny people the care they need based on you and your bottom dollar or your bottom line, or making sure that your shareholders, stockholders are making enough money fucking people left and right. I know you'd love to see that and love to see that fucking bottom dollar, but listen, you got to start caring about people and their health. Otherwise, what's the purpose of having somebody that's healthcare provider? Why do we have to go through these hoops nonstop, especially after something's been negotiated to where this is how much it's going to be, this is how much you pay, and that's it. Simple as that. Basic shit. Nothing that's fucking groundbreaking. Nothing like splitting atoms or quadratic equations. I'm not asking motherfuckers to cure cancer. I'm just asking for them to release my medication, just like anybody else would. And aside from that, I will tell you that they've been trying to disable me, even though you would think it would be a simple thing. No, no, no. If you've ever go through disability and you are under the age of 67 now is what they put the age of retirement. If you are in an accident and you apply for your Social Security Disability Insurance, also known as SSDI, automatically, by default, you are denied. Let me explain what that means. So, Social Security here in the United States, you pay into it every time you get paid. It's on your pay stub. Look at it. Social Security tax, SSDI, SSI. It's labeled a few different things, but it's Social Security. And it's an insurance, okay? It's a giant insurance company. It's the insurance company of the United States. Social Security. Also, and I'll explain this while I'm at it. If you don't think that there are socialist programs in the United States, I will correct you right away, because if the name Social Security doesn't give it away, then let me take it one step further. It is given by the government. So anytime the government is here to provide something for you and the government is giving something to you, you are accepting something from the government. That is a social program, similar to socialism in a small section. So if you receive unemployment benefits, okay, that's state usually, all right? If you receive your Social Security, okay, if you are on Social Security disability, these are all programs. Welfare, you know what I'm saying? Food stamps, these are all provided by the government, and all social programs, which are, like I said, depending on your level of understanding and how much you want to know, yes, there are different forms of socialisms even here in the United States. Whether you want to admit to it or understand it, I don't control that part of it. Okay? I just tell you like it is. That's all I can do. I just tell you like it is, and hopefully you guys understand. But, you could look around and see here about how certain social programs don't really work out so well, like, for, I don't know, the homeless, people with mental health issues, people with disabilities, which is what pissed me off about the whole treadmill comment. It's not about me at all. I got big shoulders. I can take it. I'm not worried about it. Nobody hurt my feelings. I appreciate the feedback and the comments because it gave me something to talk about, in addition to me having to talk to healthcare providers for the first 20 minutes of the show. But I appreciate you guys all being there. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, like, share, notification. That way you don't miss any of my crazy shit. I'm thinking about going on again daily and talking about things, but I really, really would like to get you guys involved. And it's one of those things to where if you don't feel comfortable coming on camera, you don't have to show your face. Absolutely not. And I will never ridicule anyone for coming on and for what they had to say. And, this is an interactive show, and that's the way that I wanted it. That's the way I'm having it on this channel this go around. The other channels that I've had might have been a little too spicy. My topics may be a little bit too deep, but I'm not going to let that stop me or my mission, which is to not give up, to help my fellow man, woman, human, person, whatever. But at the same time, as much as I might preach niceness and kindness towards others and empathy, you also have to be able to have a big set of fucking balls and nuts and know when to put the bass in your voice and let your nuts hang. I don't know how else to tell you. You can't fucking be a pussy, and you gotta fucking make sure that you stand up for yourself and don't let people walk over you. I had a motherfucker the other day. I drive a Dodge truck, 4 full doors, not the little doors. I'm a grown man, for God's sakes. Anyway, and in my Dodge truck, I have a handicap placard, with the wheelchair logo and shit on there. So I park in handicap spot like I normally would. I don't walk so good. Like, I'm super fucking slow, like ridiculously slow. Like a toddler crawling is faster than me. The oldest, slowest person that you've ever seen is faster than me. Like, I'm shitty slow, especially if I've been sitting right now. It'll probably take me 5 minutes of just standing up and get my legs from not being numb to be able to fucking walk. So you got like a 5-minute head start, and I'll never catch you in the first place. Anyway. So we got the social programs. We talked about that. Healthcare in America. We talked about that. There's things that we can do to help one another out, but we don't. I just, what I really would like? I would like to be able to sit here and help people help themselves, make everything a little bit better in the world, if at all possible. And yes, 1 in 4 Americans cannot read. That is absolutely true. That is the literacy rate. I like to round up a little bit, but that's what it comes down to. And on top of that, what's even worse about that, 1 in 4 Americans can't read, and the ones that can read have a fucking reading level of a 6th grader or less. Think about what I just said. Literate people, for the most part, majority, have a reading level of a 6th grader or less. Did you know that people and their attention spans are so short that a fucking goldfish has a longer attention span than a human being? An attention span of a fucking goldfish is 9 seconds. Human being, like 8.2. So a fucking goldfish has a longer attention span than a human being. Maybe I should have a fucking audience full of goldfish. No, I'm kidding. I love you fucking guys and gals and people. Especially if you subscribe and interact and leave comments. And even if you talk shit, I appreciate it. You can call me an asshole. You can call me whatever you want. I'll post these little things up here for a little bit. But yeah, I didn't have a chance to go to the gun store today with the old man. I got tied up a little bit extra at the doctor's office since it was first clinical visit. And the good news I was going to tell everybody about the doctor's office and clinical visit. Got a nice doctor. He's a dude, first dude doctor that I've had. I got fired from all my old doctors. Like I said, Peterbilt, they cut off my insurance, which didn't cut off my doctor, but I had to get United Healthcare insurance from the marketplace once that happened. And that was the worst fucking insurance on the planet. These motherfuckers wouldn't cover anything. They wouldn't even cover inhalers. Nothing. Like, they wanted me to hurry up and die. Like, I didn't know if it was going to, I didn't know if Jesus was going to come back or if I'm going to get my inhaler before I fucking croak. But it's insane. But anyway. So, no medications for over a year. Oh, maybe longer. Actually, yeah. A little bit longer, about a year and a half. And, Social Security law or disability lawyers, you got to have those if you want to apply for disability. It's a process. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'll get it. This is my first appeal. Usually, even though you could lose an arm in an incident and still get denied Social Security disability insurance that you've been paying into since you've been working, and still get denied, even though you might be disabled. And depending on their definition of what disabled is, it all varies. But they've never looked at you. They've never seen you. They've never diagnosed you. You can have 5, 6, 7, 20 different specialists look at you, diagnose you all the same exact way, and they'll still deny you. Be like, oh, like, you fucking gotta be kidding me. This is why the shit doesn't work. This is why we have the problems that we have, because nobody's actually doing anything to help one another out. And I told you this, and I will say it again. My pledge, as always, I don't care about fame. I don't care about fortune, notoriety, wealth. I don't care about any of that shit. I honestly, truly care about people. I might be an asshole, and I might not always say the right things, but you can guarantee that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to pull any punches. And if we get a good enough idea, give it legs, let it walk, we'll see where it takes us. But my mission statement remains the same: to help others. Unlike some of these other individuals who become influencers or YouTube famous or whatever, Instagram and whatever the fuck it is, I don't care about any of that shit. I want to be able to do something to better my fellow human, woman, people, species, whatever we want to call them. And if I ever get to that point where I do get monetized, every cent that I would ever make in this monetization stage, if it ever were to happen, goes back to individuals that you see here on the screen, individuals that need help but don't get it, individuals that get ignored, get forgotten. The same individuals that you drive by and see every day but don't do anything about. I'm not saying that about all you, but I'm just saying in general. But this is who I care about. This is what makes me upset about America. This is what I hate to see, and this is what I'm tired of seeing. These are the people that get, they get lost in the cracks. They get stuck in the system. And once you're there, you're never going to, it's difficult to get out. And there's not a lot of people that are going to be lined up to help you out at the same time. So a lot of things, whether or not you want to be considered a product of your environment, whether or not you want to consider yourself to be a victim and you want to blame other people, that's okay. I'd rather see that than somebody do some crazy shit to somebody else. You know what I mean? Any more than I'd rather be on this platform or whatever platform anybody's watching me from and be able to express myself, as opposed to go out and want to fucking do some harm or something bad to somebody else. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I want to do. And the whole handicap thing has a little bit to do with that as well. So I'm just saying. It doesn't make it any easier. And life is hard already. You got people that can barely afford to live as is. Don't make life any harder on individuals. It doesn't need to be that way. But, life has a way of kicking you when you're down and finding a way to get yourself back up. Maybe you just need to hear the right people say the right things to motivate you. We all have different ways of getting motivated. Some people, takes one thing, somebody else, totally different. To me, my motivation is this: seeing people that need help and don't get it and get ignored. Seeing people that get made fun of that can't do anything about it. The group that I was with earlier last year, up until we had our falling out, and I don't necessarily have any ill will towards it. I did a lot of work on the channel, and their channel's still around. I don't have any of their content up, and none of it's in my playlist or anything else. So, unless you knew me from that channel, then you'll never figure it out, and that's okay. But you got to be able to sit and try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes to the best of your ability and empathize with somebody, because we could all relate to something that another individual may or may not be going through. We could all relate to what it's like to be tired. Henceforth, why when we see someone yawn, we often yawn ourselves, because the brain recognizes that, hey, he's yawning or she's yawning. They must be tired. That's how it works. It's one of those type of things that we just do automatically, but that is the reason why. Another one is we all know, for the most part, what it's like to lose somebody that we were close to, so we can feel empathy in that way for somebody. We, we don't care enough about each other as is right now to make a big enough difference. So why would I expect anybody to treat the lowest of the low any better? But I feel that the greatest nation, the wealthiest country on the planet, should not have this kind of issue, should not have this kind of problem. And it's sad to see it. It really is. And it doesn't matter if doesn't matter what state you're in, whether you're in the lower 48 or you're in Alaska or Hawaii, or if you're in Puerto Rico or even Denmark, which is technically portionally owned by the Kingdom of Denmark, but the United States is technically a steward of it and does take care of Denmark. So that's that. Other than that, I mean, listen, Social Security takes forever. They deny you every chance they get, because just like any other insurance company, they're not trying to pay out. They just want you to keep paying in. Has healthcare got any better? Not for me, it hasn't. Not in my opinion. And it doesn't matter how much money I pay. They come up with an excuse to not want to follow through on their end. But that's okay, because that's not going to deter me from continuing to push and hold people accountable and get results. That's what it's about, is getting results. But anyway, like I said, mission statement: help others. I ever get monetized, you go back to this video and say, hey, Max, you said you help others. How are you going to do that? Well, I'll tell you how I'll do that. Number one, you get monetization depending on how much money you can make. There's people making 20, 30 plus thousand, if not more, on a monthly basis. That's good money. That's money that you could buy property that, depending on where you are and it's existing, to be able to help house individuals that are out on the streets, as opposed to just letting them stay out there and freeze in the winter or die of heat stroke in the summer. I don't want to see that. And as far as anything else goes, the crises in America, the illiteracy game, 1 in 4 people can't read. Come on, we can do better. We need to do better. The homeless population, told you. There's the incarceration rate more than anywhere else in the world, more than the next top 3 or 4 countries combined, if not more at this point. So you can't be the land of the free when you got everybody locked up, especially over some bullshit. If you're in prison, incarcerated, and we as taxpayers are splitting the bill, I think we ought to have a little bit more say on who we want to keep housed. For example, if you've been on death row and you've been convicted of a crime that, you know, involves you dying, and you've been on death row for like 15 years, what the fuck is the holdup? Fuck your appeals. You were guilty, without a doubt. There was DNA. You sprinkled DNA all over the place. Your ass is getting cattle pronged after we put you under with anesthetic. Done. That's taxpayer fucking justice right there. I don't want to pay for illegals that light people on fire in subways and then we have to feed them and house them. Don't like that. No. I don't like doing something like sending 2 fucking cargo planes full of illegals that shouldn't be here from Colombia back down to Colombia, only for the Colombian president to send them back, saying that's inhumane. Well, what's so inhumane about treating a criminal like a criminal? If you come to a place that you're not supposed to be without permission, then what's the problem? You get treated like a criminal. That's anywhere in the world. Is Colombia special? But he sent his own planes to get his own individuals, so good. Hopefully we don't have any more issues like that. But that plane, that fuel, that was our money. Housing those fuckers, we're paying for all that. So a little bit more say, a little bit more active in how some of these programs and funds get allocated and what they actually go towards and go for. The more control that we have, the better. Big government, bad. Small government, good. We the people, not we the government. And, like I said, take care of others, help others out. Understand that people might be going through things that you have no idea about for a long time, for a short time. And sometimes people don't know how to deal with certain situations, and they learn. Some lessons are learned harder than others. Some lessons are never learned. Mistakes are repeated, so is history. Those of us that choose not to learn from it are doomed to repeat it. Oompaville. That's what I was going to say. I like that guy. I believe his name is Caleb. And I like his channel. He's been fun to watch. And on the internet, like I said, I'm like Jay and Silent Bob when it comes to it. The fuck is the internet? Holy shit. It was never really a big deal growing up because we had other shit to do. Like we'd socialize with people and try to fucking, get laid and, blow some trees and shit. And of course, anything else we can get our hands on back in the day. But not anymore. I'm grown up. Grown man now. Don't do any bad shit. Nothing bad. Nothing that you can say bad. I don't even drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah, I vape. I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't drank or had any alcohol or tobacco, cigarette wise, since since I had kids. So, like 15 years. That's wild. I don't know, but these fucking insurance companies keep fucking with me. I'm gonna start changing that. A little something stronger than coffee. Tell you that right now. Anyway, guys, gals, people of all ages, I thank you very much getting this new channel up off the ground, getting it lifted. We're going to make it happen. Tomorrow, I am going to the gun store with my crazy ass dad. That's what's happening tomorrow. I already know what I am eyeballing. An 1895 chambered in 4570 or an AR-10, which is basically an AR-15 that's chambered in 308 or 762 NATO, 762 by 51 NATO, as opposed to 762 by 39 Russian. But, I wouldn't mind either one of those, or if I can get another AK at a good price. The only problem with getting an AK right now is the price of fucking ammo. Almost $1 a round. 223s and 5.56s if you're shooting ARs, or under 50 cents a round, which is still a little bit expensive if you ask me, but a lot more affordable than just playing around with your AK and having fun with it. But Yeah, whatever I get, I'll show you guys. There was a Glock 26 I saw. I liked it also. And Glock 26 is the original John Wick. So, with 9mm, good looking little gun. Good looking little gun. They also had some other stuff that they always get in. I was looking at the website. So we'll do the gun show tomorrow. But last but not least, good news for males 40 and over. I asked my doctor, like I said, first time met him today, prostate exam. He said, stop. I said, okay, what? He's like, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, what? He's like, it's the 21st century. We've gone further than this to determine whether or not there's a problem with your prostate. And you will know. I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. If it took us till the 21st century to figure out that sticking a finger up another man's ass and feeling around, I'm glad we're done with that. I'm happy. I wish that they would have done this like almost 10 years ago, because I've had, for medical reasons, by a medical professional, my prostate professionally examined since I was 40. So, yeah. But good news to all men. You don't have to do it anymore. It's not recommended. If you're having a problem with your prostate, let your doctor or medical professional know. Don't tell your boys and shit and have them check it out. No, don't do any of that stuff. I'm just telling you that it's a thing. It's a real thing. And aside from that, good news on the prostate. Good news, I didn't get fired by any more medical professionals over the last year. I got fired by my new primary health physicians, not because the doctors fired me, but because the front desk people had a hard time with English, and they wouldn't give me back my debit card after I paid my copay. And as nicely as I could, as kindly as I could ask for my card back, they didn't understand. So I'm like, give my fucking card back. Fuck's wrong with you? So they fired me for that, but whatever. Then my original primary care physician fired me because another doctor he was an infectious disease doctor. Yeah. Here's how they figure out that you have CRPS. You go to a specialist who specializes in infectious diseases, and basically they test you for every fucking disease known to man and eliminate that, and then determine that you have CRPS, which is something that affects 2% of the population. So of course it was going to happen to anybody. It was going to happen to my Russian Jewish ass motherfuckers. It's all right though. It's all right. It's all good. I'm not mad about it. Nothing you can do about it now. Anyway, so yeah, no more ass fucking prostate finger up the ass check. Good news for men all over the world. My face, you know what? It's gonna get smaller eventually. Plus I'll shave. And then tomorrow we're gonna go on again at 4:00. And I hope we get some comments. Let me know. Give me some feedback. I'm into all kinds of weird shit, but not like that. Not in a weird way. Nothing like that. No weird shit like that. I'm an advocate for people that need help, people with mental health needs, individuals with disabilities, people that just need help in general, and people. I like people. Not all people, but I like most people. But thank you guys again. I appreciate it. Please, if you haven't done so, I hate to sound like that guy that is on every other fucking YouTube channel, but if you don't mind, hit that subscribe, like, share, notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my crazy shit. And you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, X, Instagram, Rumble, Kick, Locals, and whatever the fuck else I'm on. If you need me to, I can put the script or the links to my other social media links in the description. But other than that, I'm going to call it good. We got 6:00 coming up. We've been on for a little over an hour. Tomorrow, I'd like to keep it around hour, 2 hours, especially where you got people that are involved. We can talk about sports. We can talk about how my Chiefs are going to beat the shit out of the Eagles. And, yeah, we can talk about my Celtics, who are, in my opinion, probably going to win the championship again. When it comes to NBA, we can talk about Royals baseball. We can talk about NCAA, men's or women's, college hoops. We could talk about anything you want. We could talk about Trump. We could talk about Biden. We could talk about aliens. We could talk about fucking Bigfoot, UFOs, the Mothman, fucking scarecrows, Santa Claus, big dick fucking chomos. I have no idea. Whatever fuck people want to talk about. It doesn't matter. I am not opposed to anything. But with that, I say thank you again. I wish you all the best on this Wednesday hump day. I hope that you guys hump like crazy and get your fuck on. And I'll see you again tomorrow. It's your boy Max. I'm out.
I got broads in Atlanta. She took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Getting the licks in the van. Legacy.